All right. I'm live streaming and I'm also doing a live on TikTok right now as well. I felt it was time to have a chat. Um, I know there's probably plenty of people that are not going to like the chat, but first off, you have the whole rage on TikTok, according to my own personal feed, is people that are shouting that judges do not have any authority to override what a president does. They don't know their constitution all that well, and they don't know the law all that well. Apparently, if Trump or the MAGA convention say that it's illegal, they believe it whether or not it's actually true. But yeah, when Trump says what a judge is doing is illegal, he's full of it. Basically, anything that comes out of Trump's mouth is a half lie. But I was having a conversation with somebody this last week, and they were complaining that the mainstream media doesn't cover all the good things the Republicans are doing. I was tempted to ask this person, you name some good things, and I'll point out if they're actually good or not. Hello, true crime. Um, and then I reminded him that there's a Telecommunications Act that allows uh, coverage of anything to be completely one-sided. Apparently, he did not like this. When I was like, well, why don't they cover them equally? The problem is they have been covered equally. The real issue at hand is the mis and disinformation that the right wingers, especially the MAGA heads, have been using to justify what their party and their president are doing currently. Well, they're doing all these, they're not doing really anything new. They're making a big hot scrambled omelet out of everything in our system. Just like I'm okay. I will say that I'm okay with cutting the size of the government, not how it's being done now by Doge, because that's irresponsible, petty, and stupid. It's a way to get rid of the other seats on the other side of the aisle. And the biggest issue with all this is like when President Trump said he would eliminate the swamp. No, he hasn't eliminated the swamp. You either pay fealty to him or you're the swamp. Period. And for all the MAGA Republicans who are, well, he's trying to save the country. No, he isn't. He recently, in a video that I saw on YouTube, not TikTok, but YouTube, he recently had a copy of the United States Constitution posted behind a curtain and said that, oh, they insisted on doing this. No, you insisted on it. You insisted on having the Constitution in your office. And to save it, put it behind a blackout blind that will help save the Constitution. That's not the real Constitution, people. It's a copy. And the copies you can buy in the White House look better than that one anyway. But whoever was interviewing him at the time, oh, it's it's a copy. You probably have one in your home, lady. But it's the fact that all these people, well, he's got the Constitution in his office. No, he doesn't. He has a copy of the Constitution because the actual Constitution does not usually leave the building it's in, whether it be the basement, the restoration room, God knows what else. So him saying he has the Constitution in his office, completely full of shit. And if you believe that he had that in his office, damn, are you dumb? But anyway, all these people complaining about Doge making cuts, I don't mind so much trimming some fat. The problem is Congress, at least the right wing side, is cutting all these programs, but all that money is going to be funneled into giving tax breaks to people who are too rich for fucking God. And when you're giving tax breaks to billionaires who hoard their money, like Elon Musk, he has like what 13 children. He doesn't really act like a father to either to any of them, except for like one or two of them because they're not woke. Dude, you don't pay for those kids. You don't hang around those kids. They don't. They publicly disavow you. And what's worse is it's not by one woman. This is by several women. He has all these children. And if it weren't for Trump, it wouldn't be a normalized thing. But it's okay for Musk to do this from the right wing because they want to be able to do the same thing. Now, if you're going to cut government costs, you need to cut conscientiously. Not this shit of get ready, fire, and then aim. It's, yes, I'm borrowing those words from Mark Cuban. You don't aim after you've already got the program and the department. Just like when people say, well, Trump's ending the Department of Education. He can't. It takes an act of Congress. Just like when he says, I'm going to eliminate the 14th Amendment. You can't. He takes an act of Congress. If you don't believe that, you don't know your Constitution. As apparently by all the MAGA heads who clearly either can't read or don't want to read the Constitution because they want to learn everything by osmosis video watching. Just looking at TikTok here real fast because looking at what's going on. Trump does not equal good, and that tells me a lot about you in that one simple statement alone. If Trump equals good, then worshiping Satan is worshiping God. And yes, those two do equate equivocally. But yeah, I don't get the lack of education or the seemingly stupefied ender. Bacon banana or bacon peel. I don't know what it says. It just says bacon has a banana. I don't know. He is carrying a 4-year-old shield around now. No, Elon is not. A video I just watched last night showed that Elon is not using it as a shield. He is rubbing other people's face in the fact that his son, his 4-year-old son, knows more than most of them do. And I don't know what all the gift stuff is on TikTok. I genuinely don't know. I'm like, I just make videos. I don't really do anything else, at least not on social media. So yeah. But another issue is all the I've seen quite a few of these videos that people will. I thought he was going to. You thought he was going to do whatever. He was only out to help himself and other billionaires, other rich people. That's all he gives a shit about. And he wants to decentralize. He wants to shrink the size of the government. And he wants to be judge, jury, and executioner. He wants to be in charge of all three branches of government with unmitigated power. And yes, the way things are going, if everything goes according to any kind of upswing, and with the way the Republican Party is going right now, especially in rural America with all these cuts being made and Republican Congress people being booed, heckled, and shouted at for issues that their constituents have, but they don't give a shit about because they're backing MAGA completely, we might see the biggest swing turn. And yes, if the House and the Senate swing full Democrat, I see an impeachment coming. And for those of you who are like, well, they can't impeach Trump. He's impenetrable. No, he's not. The first 2 times he was impeached, the Republicans who controlled the Senate, they controlled one whole part of Congress. As soon as it got to them, they threw it in the dumpster before the person who delivered it had left the room. It's been documented. Like, here's the articles of impeachment. Oh, okay. Is he a door yet? No. We're not going to do anything. Somebody's responsible, but it's not us. They don't have any spine. They don't have any balls. I love our country. And I'm not rich. I've been on the plus side of wealth. Like, I have been the guy smoking cigars and eating $50 steaks every night. Yeah, I know it seems like a pretty cheap thing, but when you grow up dirt poor, $50 steak's an expensive steak. But I understand what it's like to be the person with a huge wad of money, and I understand what it's like to sleep under a bridge because I've done both. And Trump only cares about his image and, popularity and trying to concentrate power onto himself. Just like when he said he wanted to take away and dismantle the Department of Education. When he says, "Oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to tear it down. I'm going to reduce it and then eliminate it." You can't eliminate it, you fucking idiot. Seriously, you can't do that. Doesn't matter what you want. But he's doing all this shit just to appease himself. And all these people who are saying that we're a Christian nation, might I remind you, if you'd actually crack open a history book and read it, that's how the Nazis started. Is by saying that they're a nation of whatever it was at the time. And it turned into fascism because, well, we don't like you. You are the enemy. You are the reason it became tribalism. Because, oh my God, the Germans, if they saw anybody who was foreign, they're evil. They're the devil. This isn't the water boy. Not everything's evil. Except maybe Trump. And if you like Trump, okay, have fun with that decision. But for the rest of us who have two brain cells rubbed together right now, what you might want to start pushing for is, number one, new representation in government, because that's what it's going to take to do that. And two, making sure that all these people who are still backing Trump, even if it's hurting them, make sure they know how shit's going to go. Like, I predicted this was going to happen if Trump got elected. He was going to do away with as much government as he could, concentrate all the power under himself. That way he can tell you, that way he tells Congress, okay, this judge needs to be impeached because he doesn't agree with me. And he signed this executive order that said that it was illegal to weaponize the government against your enemies. So if he doesn't like what somebody else says politically and he orders them impeached, isn't that doing that exact thing? I could be wrong, but that's the way I'm interpreting it, and it seems to be a pretty fucking clear interpretation. 20 Republican senator seats are up for re-election. Roger Marshall is one of them, and 13 Republican House seats as well. That's a Kansas political thing right there. Roger Marshall and Ron Estes are in a shitstorm for being maggots and not being for Kansans. They'll parrot the same bullshit the entire time. They'll parrot all of the Trump points and won't actually answer any questions of a substantive nature. They say they're doing that, but they're not. They're not answering anything. They're answering easy softball margarita questions. They're not actually answering anything bona fide that could be done by anybody. Now, here's the thing. Most of the people I know who are following MAGA and are on Truth Social are being manipulated because, well, it should be this way. It should be, they're thinking some of the stuff they're saying is common sense. And not a lot of it is actually common sense. It's more like made up conservatism. But that's beside the point. And the thing I can't get, like, I had a friend here recently who said that they were manipulated. And okay, I don't know what any of that's about, but yeah. But this person was manipulated, and pretty darn easily from my experience. And yeah, I'm still left stunned by the fact that so many people are manipulated by a lot of people, but yet they're the ones saying, well, we don't need this. We don't. When you cannot be suckered into something, that is when you know you're reaching some point. But if you're easily manipulated, like Trump and his followers, you tend to see things on a different level. You're skeptical. You look up people. You find out somewhat of where they're from and start doing it that way. A federal judge is thinking about pressing the DOJ for gaslighting about deportation flights and violating his order about them. Do you think Trump gives a shit about what a federal judge is saying? Trump is saying that he has the power to override the judge. And according to the Constitution, he does not. Judges can be impeached. Gotta wet my whistle. But yeah. Okay. I have no idea what that means, but yeah, I'm lost. There's so much stuff on TikTok I don't understand because I just literally just make videos. That's all I do on social media for the most part is either repost or make videos. But yeah, it alarms me though that I've been hearing all this stuff about people being manipulated, much like some of the people who are having MAGA regret or buyer's remorse. Why did we fall for this? Good question. Ask yourself that one. Excuse me. Ask yourself why you're so easily conned. Is it because they're trying to scare you, and then when you're scared, you get tricked into voting for them or into going to their side of the argument? You lose your face? And yeah, for the people who keep telling me that they get manipulated a lot, you need to learn. You need to go on YouTube and look up how to avoid being manipulated. It's not hard. The reason I'm so resistant to it is because I've dated master manipulating females, and yes, they are tough to learn how to push back upon because they're offering something you don't have and you can't get from anywhere else at the moment, and they're going to give it to you in a certain manner and then not give it to you until you let them have their way. And they're going to get away with a whole lot while you get away with very little. And yes, that's a form of manipulation. I had to go through it 20 years ago. Or more than 20 years ago. But I also still have a one or two acquaintances who try to manipulate me psychologically, and now they're not on real good talking terms with me because they've realized I can't be manipulated like that. Yeah, but now I want to leave the chat or the comments up to both of my crowds up on TikTok and YouTube. What should I wax methodical about now? I've given you some of my burdensome information, and anybody who starts espousing that Trump is saving the world or saving the U.S., skip that shit. I'm not going to listen to it because I actually pay attention to the news, the stock markets, all the politics stuff. Just like when Trump said he was going to drain the swamp. No, he wanted to drain his enemies out of the swamp. That's eliminating all the Democrats because he wants absolutely no pushback. So none of that shit. Now, if you've got a valid point to make that I can't tear down, I'm all willing to talk about it. Other than that, throw out UFOs, fucking Yeti, climate change. Yes, I can talk about any of that crap because I've actually been studying all of it for years on and off. So throw something out. I almost thought about putting on what was it? There was music from the Mikado. And the Mikado the music from the Mikado cannot be copyrighted because the music is more than 160 years old. So good luck doing copyright bullshit there. And yes, I still have to get a record. I still have to get a vinyl of the Mikado so I can play it while I'm doing the live stream, just because it's fun to listen to. And for some of you, you might perceive it as the joke of whitewashing that it is. And yes, I do enjoy musicals. I have several musicals that I enjoy. And yeah, when people are like, well, you're straight. How do you like musicals? I appreciate music, just like I appreciate the human body. I'm not gay, but I'm still an artist. And I have been an artist for many, many years. So do I go around looking at guys naked? No. Will I look at what? The Adonis? It's art. Like the smoothness of the lines, the musculature. It's like judging a bodybuilding contest, which doesn't bother me because it's in the spirit of what it is. It's art of building back the thing. Wow, true crime, you went silent. The House got the Green Energy Initiative as well as an Inflation Reduction Act and green energy tax breaks for companies. Yes, because all Republicans think that green energy is a scam. It's not, but as long as oil companies control the Republican Party and squeeze their nutsack hard enough, the Republicans will give in. Green energy is something we need to be looking into more than just a pastime fucking fondling of a girl or a boy. It needs to be looked into. It needs to be heavily researched. And God forbid, oh my God, we come up with green energy that actually helps stabilize the planet. Holy shit. You realize that would put all oil companies out of business. All of them. They come up with a sustainable, renewable source of green energy would end the oil industries. All the billionaires would be gone. At least all the oil billionaires. The oil barons, poorer than shit. The stock would drop. The only reason they would exist is to have gas and kerosene, maybe. Because gas and kerosene come from the same product, petroleum. But anyway, yeah, we should have invested in this stuff way back when Bush Jr. was in office, but we didn't because of 9/11. And I can't count how many over the following years, how many fucking veterans I heard talk about they were put in front of an oil well and told just to stay there. I don't know whether an oil derrick or just an ordinary hole in the ground for accessing the oil, but they were sent there and told to stand there in full uniform and wait for a team to come relieve them. And then when the team relieved them, that set of people who took over for them were usually a security force paid for by an oil company to retain the oil, to gain access to the oil in that area. So, yeah, And if you don't know that, then you're probably too young to remember it, or you live such a sheltered life that yeah. And thank you for everybody watching on TikTok. If you're still actually watching this, I'm amazed. Um, it's not because I'm an idiot. It's because I don't know how long this one's going to last. I'm assuming not too damn long because you can only talk for so long unless you're an over Twitter pated person, and I'm not over Twitter pated. See, what does that one say? Nothing important. But yeah, you guys throw something at me. I see. Harold Lutnick, Commerce Secretary, said, "I am sure people won't miss their SSI checks or Social Security payments if they dissent." I don't know where these stories are coming from, but it seems to me somebody's living in a delusional era if they think that people on SSI or disability won't miss their checks. You know how many landlords would have open spaces and couldn't fill them up because you've taken SSI away? Republicans right now see SSI and disability as a luxury. Well, if you're able-bodied, yeah, some people can't. The only part that really worries me when I see videos like that is when you've got a mother of 6 or 8 children by like 4 guys. I'm disabled and I've got 6 kids. How are you disabled? Pooping out 6 kids is not being disabled. That tells me you're active in other ways. And you don't need disability. You need to close your damn legs, more than likely. And Harold Lutnick said that on a Billionaires Rich People podcast. Come on, dude. Anyway. True Crime Unraveled. You really need to up your game on this one because you're falling behind. I mean, I catch up on news in a few minutes, and you spend a day watching what most of us consider fake news. Now, Elon Musk considers everybody who's on any kind of government support suckers and lazy asses. Okay, you work from home, smoke pot, you can't even get a fucking rocket to launch. There are teenagers who can go from not knowing anything about rocketry to launching a fucking rocket 6 times taller than they are in less than 5 years. And they don't have all the resources. They're required to figure out the engineering. And you're a billionaire who doesn't really grow much of anything. And the reason why, and just in case you wanted to know, the reason why Tesla hasn't been paying taxes for 2 years is because they've been reporting losses. Elon said Social Security is a Ponzi scheme and he calls them the parasite class. This coming from a guy who went to college under his daddy's dime and then claimed that his daddy didn't pay for it. Yeah, sure. And yeah, it's outrageous, the crap that comes up nowadays. So it really is kind of insane. And hi to everybody on TikTok. Glad you're watching. You may not be here long, but hi. And for anybody who doesn't know this yet, I talk about politics, at least on this channel. I may end up making another video just for my other channel, which is more lighthearted and personal for me. But this channel, the Sceptical Scotsman, my channel with a picture of me with a green derby bowler hat on. This is my political channel, not my, personal channel. And yeah, I say what I want. And if I don't like somebody's opinion, I don't have to be silent about it. I get public as I want about it because it's my damn channel. And yes, I've had people, well, you shouldn't be so harsh. My field of fucks is barren. I don't care. It's my channel. I'll do what I want to on it. I won't get nude on it or do anything weird. And yes, there are different levels of weird. I won't mention them right now because I don't want to give any fucking idiots any ideas about what the levels of weirdness. My level of weirdness is genius meets screwball meets horror gore for a purpose kind of thing. Yeah, my brain's just weird like that. Let's see. Tesla investors want him out because Tesla is going bankrupt. Well, no shit. Dude, you're like a week behind. They've been Tesla's been asking Musk to step down for a week. They've started asking him publicly to get the hell out of the CEO position and back the hell off because he's a fucking fruitcake. I mean, when he sits there in a meeting and dude, lay off the meth and smelling salts. You don't need to mix K2 with bath salts either, because that's what you end up like. Can you say reboot, motherfucker? You're a billionaire who loves doing drugs and then acting like you know what the hell you're doing. It's sad because he's been asked to step back from being the face of the company, of different various companies, multiple damn times. Tesla investors want him out because we already know. The news just reported on Friday, or was it Thursday, that Tesla has lost 50% of its value since January. No shit. They've actually, in the past year, Tesla stock has gone down 75 fucking percent in total. But people are, well, it's lost 50% of its value from this point. You're not measuring back far enough. And to charge anybody with domestic terrorism who doesn't like Musk, I get it. It's a lawful thing to do. But acting as though Tesla needs to be protected from, or that Musk needs to be protected from the ruination of Tesla, because Tesla is literally nothing more than a, what would you call that? Okay, that was a bizarre comment. Hello, Aquarius Yaya. I don't know who that is right now, but yeah. Thank you for showing some love. I appreciate it. You can't stay. I don't care if you stay for 30 seconds. Thank you for the drop by and the hello. The weird part is that Musk, who cannot keep a company running very well, and he'll deny and change his story every time you ask him about the companies he's been asked to step down from as CEO. He's the face of the company, and he's been asked to step down more than 3 times from different companies because he has these eccentric, wild-ass views that make absolutely no sense at all. And that's why when he says, well, we've got some common sense solutions, your common sense solutions, number one, lack sense, let alone commonality. The only commonality they have is to emolumate yourself and make yourself richer, which is wrong. And why the richest guy in the world needs a tax break at all for the rest of his fucking life makes no sense. Like, you're the richest man on the planet. You want tax breaks. For what? You have $400 billion in your pocket. Well, that's mainly income. Exactly, but you still have it. You're the richest man alive right now that we know of publicly. You need a tax break for what reason? Well, I don't feel any. No, you should be taxed heavily. You should be like the most heavily taxed person on earth. You don't like it? Tough shit. If you're making $1 billion a year, or $10 billion a year, and you're not getting any money, you're not getting taxed, why the fuck are you getting a break that poor people need? Well, if I don't get a tax break, I don't help. That means you're a megalomaniac. You think you're bulletproof. Just like Trump's State of the Union speech that he conveniently named the joint session of Congress. And if you'll notice what happened there when none of the Democrats got up and clapped for him, it was only Republicans. And it's funny because one guy got up and said that the vote was not a mandate. You were not given a mandate. The guy's got huge cojones saying that. And then you had Speaker of the House Mike Johnson saying there will be decorum here, while the Republicans are shouting "Boo! Get him out!" calling him names and all this crap. How is one man managing to threaten all the Republicans because he's the voice of their opposition, because he has a brain? And they're all like, well, we don't like that. Doesn't matter if you like it or not. Obama and Biden, if somebody threw out a protest, go let them. But MAGA, we can't have one voice of dissent or it's fucking gone. No, bullshit. Thank you, whoever Molly is, keeps on liking the video, so that's okay. What do you think of Musk being allowed to sit in a briefing over a potential war with China? The strange part about that is I've been watching the news and I haven't heard not a goddamn thing about that. So TCU, no offense, but I haven't heard anything about it. And I'm more ahead of it than you are. You're like a week behind on most of your news. And I haven't heard anything about him being in a briefing over a potential war with China. So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you on that one. But you seem to be getting weird news from weird spots that don't exist. Excuse me. And hello, everybody on TikTok again. Yes, it's going to get weird, but that's kind of the point of it. If you're comfortable with everything going on in the country and you're comfortable with what the Republicans are doing, I would say that maybe you're part of the problem. And I don't mean to be an overcritical asshole, but I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm an independent, so I can point out what both are doing wrong, call bullshit, and not have to worry about, well, you're a Republican. No, you're a Democrat. You supported Biden. No, I didn't support Trump or Biden. In fact, if that had stayed like a Biden and Trump contest, I probably would have wrote my own damn name in, because I don't trust guys that are that old to live that long and do the job well. But yeah, back to the heckling part. You had that guy from Texas who was yelling at Trump that he didn't have a mandate, and you had all these Republicans calling him names and shouting and doing all this crap. Mike Johnson is okay with telling one guy to maintain decorum, but his own party is jumping on this asshole, or jumping on this dude. They're all being a crowd of dickless assholes. They're jumping on him, but Johnson isn't banging the gavel saying there will be order. No, because they were his people jumping on one person they consider parasitic. I'm sorry, but there's no comparison. They have no balls. They have no spine. They want to be the only voice in the room being heard. The only one. Doesn't matter what's right or wrong. If we're speaking, y'all need to shut up forever until we're done. That's how Republicans are seeing it. They want to be the only voice being heard. They want to cancel out everybody else. And then when it comes to them being hated on, well, why are they doing that? They're acting like a bunch of hippies. Maybe because a lot of people grew brains. What do you think of Trump wanting to label people who protest Tesla dealerships as domestic terrorists? Did you miss the section where I covered that in the beginning of the video, dude? Like, yeah, I covered that like way back at the beginning. Man, you're kind of being slow there, TCU. And I'm spitballing now. I didn't have a script to start out with. I just had some starting points, and I've gotten through them, and now I'm just spitballing. So, and yes, this happens a lot where I've run my course of discourse out and let the audience ask questions. As long as they're reasonable, I'm not going to take some stupid ass crap. I mean, I couldn't tell you who my favorite Teletubby is. Um, I couldn't tell you anything about what's going on with Yellow Jackets because I don't watch that show. I just finished 1883. Yes, I saw all of Yellowstone. Just finished that like a week or two ago when it finally got released. Hello, everybody on TikTok again. And we're fitting to get. We just finished 1883, and we're fitting to start 1923, which I had to go through and look up the connection, and now I get it. So now me and the wife can start watching that. Republicans were told by the RNC to stop the town halls because they're saying that it's left wing activists are infiltrating the town halls. Actually, let's debunk that shit right now. Republican congressmen are now trying to, and I've heard more about this on the actual news and on YouTube and TikTok, about town hall meetings where people were selectively filtered. They had to be Trump loyalists, Trump backing, Republican conservatives. If they did all that, they could attend at these selective town hall meetings and then talk about what to improve upon. That's not a town hall. That's forming a select committee of people who act and think alike and don't have a brain in their body because they're already all on the same page, and that page is in the Nazi handbook. Just like with Roger Marshall, he held a town hall, and well, if you guys are going to keep shouting at me, I'm just going to leave. You're a representative of Kansas, and you're not listening to Kansans. No, now I figured out all of them were infiltrating the meet. These were just a bunch of liberals infiltrating. No, most of them were in fact Republicans who had lost jobs or lost their livelihoods due to government budget crackdowns from Doge, and they're trying to create the narrative that their town halls would be successful only if they had like-minded political people there. No, what they want is brainless idiots coming in and, well, how can we make everything better under Trump? You can't, because he doesn't understand or read the Constitution either. We look alike, man. It's crazy. I don't know about that one. I don't have long hair, and your picture is showing long hair, so I don't know what to tell you on that one. A Democratic committee in the House have launched an investigation into Doge and Elon. That's all I can say to that one, dude. I mean, it doesn't take much intelligence to figure out that the government will have to look. The government will have to look independently into Doge and Musk, and maybe he gets deported because, from what I understand and what I've researched, he's not here legally anyway. Somehow he got made into a citizen, and that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Sounds like he paid a lot of people off. But yeah, it's absolutely insane, this shit going on right now. And I don't worry about my job too much because everybody needs to have their shit fixed. And yeah. But as I was saying, Roger Marshall followed the playbook of, well, they're infiltrating our town hall meetings. No, they're not. They're your constituents. They're from the state of Kansas. You just didn't expect any kickback at all. You expected to talk to a bunch of old, has-been, retired, dumbed down old people who were in need of their medication at the time because they're just in there. That's the crowd you wanted. You wanted them to clap when you made a speech and said nothing of consequence. That's honestly what you wanted. A veterans group has now launched ads against the GOP and Doge. Dude, that's old hat. That's like 2 or 3 months old. They've been doing that for a while. You not watch YouTube or TikTok? I mean, come on. I can find 40 of those in less than a minute. Water. But yeah, this thing of congressmen saying, well, we're being infiltrated by liberals and we're not being able to have a constructive town hall meeting because they're coming and disrupting. No, it's your own constituency being pissed off at you because you're not doing your job for them in representing them. You think your entire constituency is just a bunch of corn husking farmers who all think the exact same thing. And it's not true. All right. Do we have any more questions or comments for me to grasp onto and elaborate on, elucidate in? I can only comment to what you guys put out. And if anybody posts anything like F you or anything like that, I'm just going to laugh because there ain't no shits being given right now. Like, I don't give a shit if you're disrespectful. So, Trump removed Kamala's security clearance yesterday. What are your thoughts? Okay, for those of you who don't quite process in your brain, Kamala was trying to run for president and was starting to get security clearance briefs on the presidential level, and because she was the vice president. Now, since she is no longer in the office, and according to Trump and the maggots, she is no longer needed, why would she have security clearance to do that stuff? I don't understand why she would either. Biden doesn't need security clearance. I mean, Trump's calling it the most failed administration in the history of the country, which it wasn't. His was. But yeah, of course he took away Biden's security clearance. He took away Kamala's security clearance, as well as Hillary's and a couple of other Democrats. Yes, the man's trying to concentrate power. Why wouldn't he take away their security clearance? That is not a very intelligent question. I mean, what are my thoughts on this? Well, if you wanted to rule the country with an iron fist, would you let Democrats who are power players have any security clearance at all to go do that stuff? No, it's not hard. Yeah, I don't know how many people are watching on TikTok, but what do I know? I don't have a lot of control on TikTok. I just make the videos. I think I might have one person watch. I don't know. The cool part is I've made a video more than 30 minutes long, so now I'll get a notification from TikTok when I get off of the live and do all this. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. And it keeps on telling me all these podcasters who are above me and all this deal. I don't care about the rankings. I don't make these videos to compete with other people. I make these videos because, number one, I've been doing it a long damn time. I've been doing it since 2018, 2019, back before COVID even started. Back before COVID was a blip on the screen. I was making videos for YouTube and converting them to audio for podcasters, the app, which apparently I'm no longer on or some crap. Do you think Anonymous will expose everything? What are your thoughts on them? Okay, history, a little context here. Going back, Anonymous is a very wide-ranging, decentralized hacker group that can damn near hack into anything, whether it be any country's security, literally any. Doesn't matter. I don't give a shit if you had fucking Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, and Snowden all working cybersecurity. They would not be able to stop Anonymous from hacking into something. I do think if Anonymous actually has evidence, they will expose it. My thoughts on them is right now, it might be a good thing for them to end Snapchat and Instagram or whatever. Because a lot of what's going on right now in Threads, Instagram, Snapchat, a lot of thirst traps. And I do think they are morally obligated to do that for the benefit of the world. And there's been more than one clip. I mean, there's a clip you can't even play on YouTube now where Trump is at a rally and admits that the election was rigged so that he would win it. Do I think he did it? Fuck no. They have destabilized Twitter's algorithms as well as I don't know about Snapchats. I was on Snapchat last night, but it worked for me. But I don't belong to Twitter or X, and I've been on X since the fucking election. After they won the election, I got the fuck off of it because I didn't want to hear everything that Musk was saying. And he and Trump are just hawking salesmen. Right now, for $29.95, buy a shot glass with a bullet in it. Who the fuck buys that? Why would you buy a tampon to wear on your ear to symbolize your solidarity with Trump? Dude still has his ear. So this crap of, my ear was almost blown off, my hand was covered in blood. Dude, watch the fucking video. He had a little bit of red on one of his fingers. Wasn't covered in blood. They said that Instagram and Facebook are next. Instagram and Facebook would be the next logical choices. And like, I used to have a MeWe account, and I went back in after being gone from it for 3 months, and I couldn't even get in my own account. And MeWe was, well, we're building up. They've changed so many they've changed hands so many times. Like they keep, I went back and looked at pictures on MeWe of their CEOs. It changed 12 times in 2 years. I'm like, no, I'm done. They're dead. A lot of people subscribed to it because it was apolitical at first, and I went there because I thought it would be a nice change. Turns out it's deader than fucking Wimkin. And yes, I've been to every Republican social media site that's actually just an echo chamber for Republicans. It's boring, and I've been booted from all of them for showing any sign of dissent. They don't want people thinking for themselves. Like when Rob Schneider, when he joined up with, what site was it? Not True Social, it was another one. Either way, he joined up and said, hi, now it's time we can get back to our conservative roots and shit like that. I was like, you're an idiot. And then he started touting all these conservative values. Like, dude, you made movies that were so against the conservative value group. What the fuck are you doing now? And I left. Well, actually, I got booted because I made a comment about, does anybody have a brainstem? I mean, why are you adding to this? Why are all of you just wanting to hear the same thing? Because we need to stand in solidarity. No, you have solidarity. You had 36 fucking social media sites all dedicated to the same thing. Right-wing, religious, conservative republicanism. That many fucking sites, you just want to hear what you want to hear. You want to hear nothing but what you already believe and think. You're not looking for any kickback. That's why you're on social media, to get that acquiescence. Trump is eyeing the FEC, and now he wants one person in charge of all elections. Yeah, no. In a centralized place, no. Can we just say no to everything and go along with that? I've got 2 people watching on TikTok and 2 people watching on YouTube. A bunch of people are joining in and probably leaving. That's okay. I'm okay with that. But as I said, I don't make this for money. Lord knows it would be awesome to do that, but that's not my goal. My goal is to educate and entertain, even if it's just myself, because I've been doing this a while. Now, get rid of this damn notification from my laptop, because yes, I'm doing YouTube on my laptop and TikTok on my phone, so hello. And thank you for those of you watching on TikTok. Thank you to those of you watching on StreamYard or YouTube. Either one's good. He fired the Democratic members of the FEC. Yeah, he's going to eliminate anybody. Oh, now I've got 3 viewers. Yay! I've got 3 viewers on YouTube. But he wanted to get rid of anybody who would give him kickback. Just like this last election, in his first election when he won, and then the second election, which he lost, when he said that he wants it all done, he wants everything done in one day. He wants the popular vote to be done in one day. And for the first time in forever, it was done in 24 hours. Like completely fucking done. That tells me some fishy shit went down, and yeah, no. I don't agree with his I don't agree with what he's been doing, but yeah. Apparently there was some weird puzzle piece thing I had to do. I don't know. I don't know how long it was there. But yeah. He wants to decentralize everything. If anybody offers any kickback, he wants to be able to overrule that. Duh. He's trying to become more powerful. He doesn't care what he has to do, who he has to hurt. That's his thing. I'm not even going to go to the USAID, dude. Not even going to cover that. That news is dead to me. I get a lot of people are losing their jobs and money over it. I can understand that. But the news already covers that enough for me. I literally am bored to death of hearing about USAID. It's not that I don't care, but I kind of don't, because that's all anybody seems to want to talk about is that. Now, get with a different subject. Get with a different kind of subject or something. Oh, I've almost made it to an hour. That's why I'm letting my watchers dictate what comes out of my mouth, or at least what the subject matter is. And hello, everybody on TikTok again. Apparently, some people got kicked off. I don't know. But I'm seeing some people coming back in. Great. A lot of people are swiping past me. Don't care. I'm okay with it. I don't do this for the popularity. Yeah, if this is a popularity contest, I would have already given up on YouTube years ago, because I'm not that popular a podcaster. But if you ask my longtime viewers who've also listened to my audio podcast before I had YouTube, they will tell you that I'm pretty much dead on right with a lot of shit. What do you think what do you think of Doge being booted from the SSA by a federal judge? It's not a bad thing. Come on, son, give me something a little harder than that to judge. Like, I don't like the thought of Elon Musk getting unrestricted access to everybody's information when he can't even get his own shit together and get a fucking rocket into space without it exploding. Like, I'm sure he's amazed he worked with NASA and got that one rocket up with the astronauts who went in it. And for those of you, it was a NASA mission. Yeah, and all the work was done pretty much by the SpaceX staff. They had NASA help. It was a NASA mission done in SpaceX. So yeah, and this guy wants to colonize Mars in less than a decade. Fuck off. Get realistic. We're not going to move into Star Trek territory in literally less than 20 years. You'll be dead before we make extraplanetary or extraterrestrial visits to Mars as regular members of its population. Somebody is still watching. Apparently, some people bowed out. Don't know. Anyway, what do you think of Judge Hutchin looking and permanently dismantling Doge because it is unconstitutional? Yeah, on that note, we've hit the 1 hour mark and I officially have chores to do. Still got to wash dishes, start thinking about what to make for dinner. Y'all have a great evening and all that nonsense. TikTok, I'm about to shut you off, I think, if I can figure out how. But have fun and yeah. Okay, now apparently I've gotten a lot of people fucking watching my podcast on there, but now for the YouTube people. This is a Skeptical Scotsman. I have to get I still have house chores and shit to do. I'm still a dad, a father, all that crap. So I have to get on the ball and get shit done. Y'all have fun. Have a great fucking time. Use a brain cell or two. And to those of you who are behind as TCU, get caught up on the news. I mean, get caught up. Don't be a week behind, then hit me with kind of obsolete points. Okay, guys, this is a Skeptical Scotsman, and I am skipping out. Peace out. Learn some things. That way, the next chat, we can have fun. All right? Peace.